Hey, this is Paige from Mosaic Moments, and today I am doing a layout demo for beginners. So if you just found our YouTube channel, visited our website mosaicmoments.com, or you just bought your first set of dies, this is the video for you. So you may have seen lots of our pages and noticed we have several types of dies, such as the X Factor or Horizon, and this may seem a bit overwhelming. So my advice for the beginner is just start with the basics. So today I will be creating an easy layout and the focus will be on the basic die set. In this video, I will also be demoing the Discovery die set, and this set comes with the 2x2 die and the two 1-inch dies. So if you've been wanting to learn more about this set, this is a great video for you also. Alright, so let's get started. The first step is to decide on a layout design. Check out our pattern gallery to see lots of page ideas. For my layout, I'm using pattern number 327, so go see it on mosaicmoments.com/patterns. Right now you are viewing die set A from the colored basic bundle. So the dies you see on top are measured to fit the grid paper, and I placed the layering dies on the bottom. As I go through the video, I'll talk about the difference between the two. Right now, I'm going to grab the 4x4 square die. This will fit the grid, and I'm going to use it to cut this piece of cardstock. To use our dies, you will need to purchase a die machine. Right now, I'm using the Sizzix BigKick, and you can usually find it on Amazon or scrapbook.com. Before you begin cutting, be sure to read the manufacturer's instructions because each machine is different. So now I have two square mats that will fit the grid measurements. I'm putting this die away, and again, these dies are measured to fit the grid paper. But now I'm going to use one of the layering dies. These are measured smaller so you can add a layer on top of your mat. As you can see, I'm using the layering die to cut my photograph. So basically, if you're going to mat your photographs, you want to cut your cardstock or pattern paper, whichever, with the dies that fit the grid. And then you want to cut your photograph with the layering dies. And the layering dies and the dies that measure the grid all come in the basic die set together. Right here, I'm using washi tape. And that's a good trick to help you or help the dies not shift around in the machine. So there we go. Now you're viewing die set C, and I'm going to be using the 5x4 square die. And I'm going to use it to cut this cardstock, so this will also be used as a mat for one of my photographs. Just got the first cut, and it was really easy. So one tip is to put your dies in at an angle. You notice I do not put it straight through, and this is so it gives you a cleaner cut. So now I'm going to put this die away and grab the layering die that comes with this set. Alright, now I'm going to use the layering die to cut my photos just like I did with the square dies. I am definitely going to use washi tape. You can probably see that this die is really close to the edge. This is a 4x6 photo. So you definitely want to make sure the die is pretty well in place, because it could accidentally get cut crooked and we don't want that, and you don't want to have to reprint another photo. And again, I'm putting my die in at an angle. And it's done. So this is Mosaic Moments grid paper. You can probably see all of the lines, and their main purpose is to help you align all of your pieces so there's no guesswork on keeping everything neat and straight on the paper. Nothing's crooked. But because of the grid, all the blocks you create need to be cut to specific measurements. And if you want to see more of a detailed explanation of that, I'll have a link in the comments to our website. And you will also need to cover up all the grid lines. We don't want any of them showing in our final product. Alright, this is the Herma Dotto dispenser, and I'm using removable adhesive, which allows you to move all the things around if you need to. So I'm placing these blocks based on my pattern As you can see, I noticed I had this one a little too far to the right. Now I'm adding my blocks. So I just add some glue to each corner and in the center. That's really all you need. You don't need to use a ton. And again, good thing I have my pattern to let me know where to place everything exactly. Now that my photo mats are added, I can actually add the photos, which again, they were cut with the layering dies. So you see the cardstock is on the grid and that fits the grid measurements. Whereas the photos are cut a little bit shorter with the layering dies, so that way I have the photo on top and then I can still see my mat because I think it adds a little pop to your photographs actually when you add a mat. You don't have to add the mat though, but with these photographs, since they were 4x6, I did need to add a mat because they were not big enough to fit on the grid by themselves. Alright, now I'm going to use the 4x2 square die and it's from set B. This die does fit the measurements of the grid, so it's not a layering die. It is the one that fits the grid. And if you notice, I am using this one on my photo. I wanted to readjust, make sure it's cutting in the spot I want. But this size is already pretty small. And so I didn't really feel a need to mat these photographs. Sometimes you might, but this time I decided not to. So I am cutting these photos to the exact measurements I need for the grid paper. And now I'm all done. Now that my photos are cut, I just need to glue on the back. So I'm doing each edge and in the center, and they're already measured to the grid. So look at that, so quick and easy. I didn't have to measure or anything. I just had to cut with the dies and now they fit right on the grid. Done. So now I'm going to add my discovery dies, but first I'm going to cut with the 2x2 square die from set A. So this will be my background piece for the 2x2 discovery die. So it's just an easy way to fill the back of it, as you'll see when I get to the page. This is the actual discovery die, and I'm just cutting it with white cardstock. So all the paper came out easily from the die, and I just need to punch these little extra pieces out. So pretty easy, just pop your finger in and come right out, and there it is. So these two are also from the discovery die set. They measure 1 by 1 inch, so they're really small. So the nice thing about having two of them is you can cut them both at the same time, which is really nice. And these little pieces really stick in there, so I recommend getting tweezers to get all the pieces out. There you go, 2 discovery dies. Die cuts, I should say. I'm back at my page again, and I'm gluing on the 2x2 square that I cut with set A. Now I'm going to glue down my discovery die. I have this piece of cardstock just so the glue won't get over my page or on the table. It's pretty easy to glue it down. I just put a little bit on each edge and right in the center. So it's not too bad. The lines are kind of thicker on the outer edge, so it's not too hard to get glued down. So for the little 1-inch dies, they are more intricate. So one of my favorite tools for these kind of cuts is the Xyron sticker. Well, it's a Create a Sticker machine. You just roll it through and then press down like I'm doing now. And then you strip this clear piece off. And then all of these are stickers now. So I just have to pull them up and then stick them on the parts that I want to glue them on. They do become very sticky. I'm just using my finger to rub off the excess, so thankfully that seems fairly easy to get off. So just stick it on and kind of rub off the excess. By the way, this grid paper is from our Ombre collection, and I actually decided not to make little background pieces for this particular die, and because of that you can see the background color from the grid paper. And the ombre, it kind of shifts from one color to another, and so I really like being able to show it when I can behind a die because I think it looks really pretty. Alright, now I'm trying to get this excess piece off real quick. Want to make sure it's cleaned off pretty well. Now I'm using the pattern paper. It's the same paper I use for my 2x2 square. And I'm using a 1-inch punch. If you don't have a punch, you can use the 1-inch square from set A. I just find the punch to be really quick and convenient a lot of the times. So I was able to just use that, and I can easily stick the 1-inch squares on my grid paper. So that's another trick, as well as the 1-inch punch. All right, and now I'm all done. I really liked how this page turned out, especially with the discovery die. It's such an easy die to use, and it's perfect if, like, in this case, these photos were taken at a museum, and I think this die is perfect for photos like that. Anyway, if you're a beginner, I hope you learned a lot from this video. I hope you learned a bit more about using Mosaic Moments and have a better understanding of it. If there's anything you wish you saw in the video, or if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I want to help you as much as I can, so definitely ask. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and enjoyed watching this page getting made. So have fun scrapping at home, and see you next time.